So, yeah, I've had to bring the wall rants back because the Division 2 Battle for Brooklyn DLC sucks. And I mean it's bad. So this DLC cost me £12.99, Great British pounds, and I got Lewis to grab it with me as well. And we ran through this entire DLC, every single main and side mission in 2.5 hours. And there's a bunch of different things I want to talk about. There's a couple of clips I actually want to show you, so we will be switching up a little bit from the wall ranting. But it'll only be for like a few seconds when I'm like, I basically want to put the footage on screen to show you what happened. I'm going to start with the bosses' names in this. I just don't get... There's no creativity from anyone in the current development team for this game. And I'm probably going to say this a few times throughout this video, but this DLC took them around 2 years to develop. I did a video saying Year 5 Season 4 was going to see the launch of the DLC, and I estimated that had launched somewhere around March 2024. So they were showing signs of the DLC being ready for launch over a year ago. Then it got delayed. They said it wouldn't launch until 2025, and I think they put somewhere around April for it to launch. Then they had to do yet another delay, and they've launched it at the end of May. And in all that time, some of the bosses' names, you've got Bombshell, you've got Mug Boy, you've got Rat Queen, and then there's a mission called the Art Museum. So they've named one of the bosses in there Vinnie Goff and the other one Monet. They could not come up with any names. So in an art museum, I get it, it's fitting, but they've used famous artists as boss names. They just kind of switched it up a little bit so that there's no copyright issues or whatever it might be. And next up, I want to talk about the season, just very briefly, because I couldn't care any less about their recycled rubbish. The start of the Crossroads Manhunt, which is like the seasonal manhunt, it has you going back to DC. It says go back for some target practice. So again, because I'm pretty sure they did it with Warlords, they haven't utilised the new map for the beginning of the new season. And it makes no sense. Like, none of this fucking DLC makes sense. There's going to be spoilers and stuff possibly from like here up to the end of the video. So if you don't want spoilers, if you want to go play it for yourself, do that. Then come back and watch the video. But basically a character we killed, or we thought we had killed in Warlords, Theo Parnell, later in time, he's now working with us because they wanted to show... this is why I'm confused. And if any of you can let me know, then please let me know in the comments. They wanted to show... The reason they've set this in autumn is because they wanted to show time passing. So that means it's set later than anything else we've done, correct? Or am I misreading that somewhere? But what they've done is Theo Parnell in Warlords, I don't even know when Warlords was supposed to be set, but Theo Parnell was a rogue agent, so he took him down. And then all of a sudden in the Battle for Brooklyn, he's working with us. Even though he's still not he's not a full ally, he's manipulating us at the same time and stuff. I just don't get it. I mean, it would make a lot more sense if Battle for Brooklyn is supposed to be like a prequel, but then it wouldn't make sense because Keena's fucking dead in the DLC. Like they did this whole like deepfake cutscene thing with Keena in this, and there's no talks of him outside of that really. But even if they portrayed it so that Keena is still alive during this DLC, we have his stupid ass watch that's got this horrible voice. And then the next thing is there is one new skill and one new exotic in the entire DLC. And I say that because there are multiple exotics, but how do you get your hands on them? Seasonal content. You know, that stuff they've recycled for the last 5 years. That's how to obtain the other stuff. Through natural progression of the DLC, running the missions and things like that, you have one new skill and one exotic. And then they've got like a gear set, brand set, the typical shit they do. And I don't know if you guys will remember back to the video I did talking about the showcase and like basically revealing stuff to do with the DLC. They were absolutely buzzing that they had added wear and tear to Candle's ID badge. You could really see how time had affected her by looking at her ID badge. Yeah, the ID badge that you get to see for about 2 minutes at the beginning of the DLC, and then during a single cutscene at the end, you get a brief look at it. Other than that, you won't get to see Candle. You'll be out doing missions and stuff. So for that to be a talking point was pathetic. And then what's even worse is a lot of people have been complaining in reviews and stuff on Steam at least. Oh, and I think even on their Twitter threads that they're currently ignoring, people still can't access the DLC. This was a 7 fucking hour downtime for this to launch. And it was tied in with a 17.5 gig update for this tiny DLC, by the way. And yeah, hours and hours later, people still can't access access it. And what makes it even worse, the people that have bought the gold or the ultimate edition that has the DLC, they can't access it. It's still telling them they need to buy the DLC. But they've bought the new ultimate or gold edition. They're supposed to come with the DLC and they can't access it. And then getting into a couple of issues that were actually in the DLC, this is going to be the first clip. You are going to see the lighting, which was really, really nice. At the beginning of the DLC, so it shows how well it was tested. You'll see all I have to do is move forwards and it goes nighttime or daytime. I move backwards, it does the same thing. I can't remember which order, you guys will see in the footage. But yeah, simply all I have to do is move a little bit, like say move 5 meters, and it changes from night to day in the click of your fingers. And that happened for Lewis as well, so I'm going to guess it's a widespread issue. It was bizarre going from night to day in like a couple of footsteps. And then back to the wall rant, we'll carry on to the next thing. Sweeping for hostiles. If there was a drinking game, have a shot every time you see the objective to sweep for hostiles, I would probably need my stomach pumped to the hospital. It's fucking ridiculous how much they repeated that objective throughout this DLC. And then to make things even worse, we're going to go back to another clip. There's a decontamination doors. Well, there's actually a couple. They take forever to open. But when they do open, you have the ability to get stuck in them. And I got stuck. I was combat rolling for a minute or something. Couldn't get out of it. Then all of a sudden, it teleported me back inside the door. And I had to wait for the whole process to go ahead again. And then me and Lewis wiped. When we respawned, I got stuck in the door yet again. Because for some reason, these decontamination doors haven't been coded properly. They don't fucking open if you're in co-op. Like, it'll look as though they're opening, but then they'll just close on you. You'll get stuck in them. And then, as I said earlier in the video, like back to the wall rant, and I think that's going to be it for like the rest of the video is going to be the wall rant. But yeah, there's no Isaac in this DLC. You hear him every now and then for a couple of sentences. Instead, we've got this really annoying AI sounding woman. And I mean, she's got the voice of someone you would hear on like Babe Station. Like, it's horrible to listen to this voice just constantly saying objectives, like giving us tasks and stuff to do. I wanted Isaac back. I hated Isaac. He was that piece of shit wristwatch in one of the missions in the base game. But I really wanted Isaac back. This woman did my absolute nuts. And I don't think I'm the only one that's going to get frustrated with that voice either. It sounds like AI. And then some of the worst things of this DLC, the mechanics. The mission 7 and 8 are by far the worst, and they're supposed to be the climax. They're supposed to be the end of the DLC. So yes, there are going to be like spoilers on bosses and stuff here, but I mean, it's a 2.5 hour DLC. You could probably stretch it to 3, possibly 4 hours if you're really taking your time. Me and Lewis weren't even rushing this. We were just doing the missions. But yeah, in mission, I think it's mission 7, you have to take down the Rat Queen. She's not, well, I say take down, you're supposed to apprehend her. And she's got raid boss mechanics. She's got this, like, the bubble shield sort of thing you would see in Halo. And what you need to do is go around to these generators, interact with them, wait a moment, her shield comes down, you can deal some damage. And then guess what? Shield comes back up, interact with some more generators, take them down, and you can finish her off. Like, you can kill her, but then the whole objective is to apprehend her. There's no, like, getting her down to, like, 1 HP and then triggering a cutscene where you capture her and send her off to the base of operations or whatever. You straight up kill this woman, and then it tells you, oh, we've apprehended her, we're sending in the recovery team or whatever. Like, her vital signs are stable or whatever they said. But it's stupid that they put raid boss mechanics in a story DLC. And then the absolute best thing, because there was one good thing in this DLC, they made a Zeppelin. They made one, and it was quite cool for part of it. It did get bad. But yeah, by far, just seeing the Zeppelin for the first time was the best thing in the DLC, and we didn't even get to take that fucker down. We had to just wait and wait and wait for these SAM turrets to come online, and then the Zeppelin was shot down in a cutscene. And what does the Zeppelin do? You would think something new Zeppelin, you don't see it in the Division 2. That's going to be a cool-ass main boss. But it's not. All that thing does is drops drones like Razorback does in the raid. What we got as a final boss, the final thing to take down, was a Marauder. You know them big like quadcopter drone things that chase you around Washington? Yeah, they're back. Because I don't get where the Black Tusk fit into this. You would like, I get it, Black Tusk, they're a faction in the game, but they had more screen time in this DLC than the major factions of this DLC. They had 2 years to make this DLC, and the final boss was something we've already already done before. It was a marauder. We've taken them down lots. We've gone for propaganda broadcasts, and after finishing it, there's a random marauder that spawns in. You've got to take it down before you get killed. All the Zeppelin did was fly off. Like, it dropped some drones that were from Razorback. It flew off and got shot down. That was it. That was the climax of the DLC. And talking about the Black Tusk, we saw them as much as we saw the Rikers, whereas the Cleaners, which were being spoken about as a major talking point of this DLC, they were barely even there. This DLC, one of their talking points was the purple flames that the Cleaners had started using. We saw more purple flames come out of fucking turrets than we did out of Cleaners, and the Cleaners were barely even there. I spent more time killing Rikers and Black Tusk than I did Cleaners. And as well as we spoke about the sweeping for hostiles, a lot of the objectives were rinse and repeat as well. Most of the time we were either disabling a turret by shooting the generator thing, or we were shooting a valve on a wall, or twisting a valve so that we could stop some of the purple flame stuff and move on to the next area. And then the bridge settlement, it's not even a base of operations, it's not a boo, it's just a stupid little settlement that you got as a bonus sort of working area in the base map, but it's the most convoluted settlement we've ever seen in the franchise. Trying to find your way out of that place can be a nightmare, and it doesn't need to be. And then the absolute best thing, get your abacus out, your little VTech xylophone things, all your little baby toddler toys, because what they've done is they've got a global modifier called Hardcore, and what it does is makes these coloured shapes come up above enemies' heads, and there's no way to turn them off so that you can't see them. You're either going to get a yellow square, I think it's a yellow square, a red triangle, and a blue circle, or something like that, and they'll just pop up at random and give you these stupid buffs. And have fun, because that's a seasonal modifier, so it's going to be around for at least 3 months. Have fun seeing that on your screen all the time. If there was a way to just disable it off your HUD, to just take it off your HUD, it would have been fine. But no, the coloured shapes are stuck on your screen at all times. And I mean, they've gone, is one of your favourite things from The Division. Well, the amount of time we spent in underground subways during this DLC, where is the underground mode? Where's survival? We even went to a pier. Where's resistance? They've basically kicked every Division fan in the teeth. They've just teased, we've done this stuff from Division 1, but you're not actually getting anything good from the Division 1. We're just going to take you to a Div 1 area and just bring back them memories, but not let you relive them, experience them in the Division 2. No, if you want to do that, go play Division 1 again. And yeah, as I said, they've worked on this for 2 years. They're charging $12.99. This should have been free. This should have been a seasonal update. There is no thing in this world that warrants this to have a price tag on it. There is nothing that can justify or validate that price tag. This should have been a seasonal update. The map is tiny, the missions are pathetic, the bosses, it's all rinse repeat content, and they've locked stuff behind the seasons. The developers that are currently working, or that did work on this DLC, what they've done is an absolute joke. I've not been this disappointed with a DLC for a very, very long time. But yeah, that's going to be my rant over. That's my thoughts on the Battle for Brooklyn. And it's probably going to be at least another couple of years until I come back to the game. Or what they could do is give us Division 3. I would like a brand new, fresh start in the series. It would have been, it would have been absolutely perfect. Now they're done with Star Wars Outlaws and Avatar, it would have been perfect. But the climax, you explode the Zeppelin, and then there's fireworks to come out of it or something, and it's got some sort of a reveal or something about the Division 3. They could have done anything. We even there was an explosion at the end of one of the levels, which is just a reminder of the gas tank exploding when you drop it in Division 1. This time you just drop a shipping container on a ship, it explodes and gives you purple flames instead of your typical flames. They copied so much stuff, did nothing good with it at all. And yeah, disappointed is an understatement. What a complete waste of money and time. Even though it was barely any time, 2.5 hours. But yeah, that's my thoughts and opinion and everything. Let me know what you think about this DLC in the comments. And I will see you guys in the next video. I hope you enjoyed it.